Objection handling. You've probably heard of this term as soon as you probably entered the sales space. But I've always looked at this, and look, this is coming from someone that's been a multi-million dollar closer who's closed multiple six figures a month consistently, for the past decade. That's worked with some of the biggest names and brands in the world, and has trained thousands of salespeople, whether they're appointment setters or closers, into earning tens of thousands of dollars a month and closing at a high rate as well, and becoming the leading closers within the organizations. Now, I'm someone that's been, one of, if not one of the best closers on multiple teams that I've worked at. And the reason being is I've always believed in the philosophy of look at what everybody else is doing and do the total opposite. Because most people are really, really struggling. Most people really don't have it figured out. And for me, I never got into sales to be, wrestling with prospects and arguing and debating and, giving or being a pushy salesperson. For me, that wasn't sales. I always wanted to sell something that I wholeheartedly believed in, that I would give to my family members or, sell to my family members or even myself. I never wanted to be, trying to, almost convincing someone that we are the real deal, as in they could see it through my projection of the offer or the service that I was providing, my conviction, my belief. And I wouldn't want to be, arguing and debating with people and almost wrestling with people on sales calls. And I've never done that. And I was the number one closer on multiple offers. My revenue used to supersede company revenue. Like I would do levels, mountains above, the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 salesperson. And like I've been in teams of over 60 to 80 plus. Now, how have I been able to do this? Well, I don't objection handle. If you look at any of my sales calls, I've rarely ever wrestled someone on a sales call. My sales calls are nice, smooth, and simple. And clearly I've been doing something right that's led me to, break past 20, 50, 70, $100,000 a month, not only for myself, but for many of my students. And I have always done something which is the opposite to everybody else. So I've not handled objections or wrestled with people on sales calls. What I've done is objection prevention. So before the objection even comes up, what are you doing? And for me, it was always about my preparation. What could I do? So it's all about putting yourself in the prospect's shoes. As in, what if you had just saw this ad come along and you clicked it, you went through the whole sales letter, you booked the appointment, and you were getting onto a random sales call? Well, there's a few things that need to happen, because look, if you've just clicked on an ad and you've booked in to go speak to someone, that person is probably almost not going to buy. They're probably just fishing. You haven't given them enough reason, or your company or the systems and processes that you should have dialed in, and there were certain behaviors that you had to go over that haven't happened, and that's why the sale hasn't happened. And that's why I see a lot of people struggling, man, because a lot of people have got this missing. And this is what you're going to learn working with me. And I'm going to be going over all of this, and you watch me. And I'm going to be sharing so many, like how, there's so many of my closers. Daniel, who was flipping pizzas a year before working with me. And within his first month, he was earning £3,000 to £5,000 a month. That was within his first month on his first offer. Within the first 6-7 months, he was earning north of $20,000 to $30,000, a month, and as high as $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a month. There's the likes of. There's so many people that I can mention and name to you over here as well, like Imran Farouk. He's someone that, had a huge, he had a sales background and he was working for a company and everything. But, the moment he started working with me, he cracked, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, £60,000 a month. You know, we got him on an offer right away. He was managing salespeople. He was scaling sales teams. He was closing himself. Zishan, who was an absolute introvert, who after working with me, as a complete beginner, in sales, he came in, and not only was he able to land roles for himself, and like I taught him the blueprint of landing any role, and getting in rooms that would that he wouldn't probably previously had got into, but through the mentorship and the guidance, not only has he been able to work for so many other huge companies, he's helped other people land roles with other companies as well, and he's earned tens of thousands of dollars. I can go on and on, from Ibrahim, who within 60 days of just going through my content was able to make north of £20,000 a month, in a month. Well, within 60 days. Within 60 days, he was able to make north of £20,000. You know, there's the likes of Ismail, who through just watching my YouTube content, he messaged me, a year after, and he was like, Jabran, do you have any other roles? And I was like, what do you mean, any other roles? He was like, yeah, I've just moved off the previous offer that I was on. It was a trading algorithm offer, and he didn't want to do trading anymore. And I was like, okay. So how did you get in? He was like, I just watched your videos. I was in your community. I saw the job post. I reached out to them, and, I told them that I've been working and learning from you. And I landed the role, and I was like, how much did you make? He was like, I made over $170,000 in the last year. That's an average of like $15,000, $15,000 a month. Now, prior to that, he wasn't even making £1,500 a month. But this is the crazy thing. I can go on and on and on. I've had setters that from absolute scratch go and make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 in a month. That were security guards, that were taxi drivers, that were working in Subway. Like the list is endless. I've had setters out earn majority of closers' income out there. I've had closers earn north of $50,000 to $90,000 to $100,000 in a single month. So what I do actually works. And the blueprint is there. And this is the blueprint that I'm going to be helping all of you guys to really get your head around. So if you want to work more closely with me, I definitely recommend clicking the link below, reaching out to me on Instagram, dropping me a DM. There's group coaching available, and there is going to be, for a select group of people, one-on-one exclusive VIP, where it's going to be we're going to go through everything. Not only are we going to, prep you into the industry, help you transition into the industry, become attractive so people want to work with you, but not only that, but actually do well on the offers as well. And, crack past 20, 30, whatever $1,000 a month that you want to do, and actually help you land a role as well. So we're going to go all 360. It's not just giving you information and, okay, here, all the best. But because, a lot of people are struggling, and your boy's back to make a difference, to make a change, to help you guys win in this space, because I've just got sick and tired of people just struggling in this space, man. And you've called for me, and I'm back. So the Closers University Premium is going to be launched, and it's going to be something crazy. So keep an eye out. If you haven't subscribed already, I don't know where the hell you've been, because the content alone on this YouTube channel, guys, is worth its weight in gold. Reach out to me on Instagram, Jabran Superkhan, or the Closers University. See how we can work together, and I'll see you on the next video.